I'm assuming those who are still standing up are choosing to do so, or otherwise, please come sit and join us. Greetings. On behalf of the entire Board of Commissioners, Pat Smith, Christine Connolly, Donna Rathbun, Tom Murray, and myself, Janet Kramer, I call to order this 56th annual meeting of the Brattleboro Housing Authority, doing business as Brattleboro Housing Partnership. Unfortunately, Donna Rathbun isn't able to be with us today because she's on a mandatory bank training for Brattleboro Savings and Loan. And given that we benefit from all of her bank knowledge, I can't say, well, I do regret it that she can't be here because she has been a great addition to the Board of Commissioners, but we'll have to do without her. Just let me say a little bit about that evolution from authority to partnership. When we began, housing was seen as bricks and mortar. The job was to find and provide housing for people in the community unable to manage it on their own. And it was exclusively a governmental responsibility. The evolution has been multifold. Housing with services and support for the residents became clearly more successful, as our own demonstration grant, SASH, showed. Likewise, this very building, Red Clover Commons, has demonstrated that housing is a public-private partnership. That's the only way it will happen. I want to welcome to the meeting, I'm hoping she's here, our newly elected State Representative, Emily Kornheiser. No, we were hoping she'll come because her district, which is the Melrose Hayes district, has not only Hayes Court, but also George Karakavakis. But Emily is responsible for residents in our Hayes Court development as well as those remaining in Melrose Terrace. So we hope that she and we will have a good partnership. Welcome George Karakavakis, the CEO of HCRS. Thank you for being here. And whether they're here or intending to come, Sue Fillion, our new Brattleboro Town Planner, and Brian Bannon, Zoning Administrator, will be or are here representing the town administration. I look forward to joining with Elizabeth Bridgewater of Wyndham Windsor Housing Trust and our own David DeAngelis to present the Tom Yon Award, but more about that later. We're honored to premiere a new video, Welcome to Our Neighborhood. You think you know it, but you don't. So I will turn this over to Chris Hart. And we, sitting at the head table, will end up turning our chairs around so we can see it along with you.
So earlier this year, we decided that we would change, have a change in our communication with residents, and we really very intentionally worked on getting a resident advisory board together. The members of that board here, Lorelei Morissette and Christine Hazard, have been helping with it, and you that are on it, I saw you had your hand up. Anybody else?
I just wanted to wait.
Well, good. So it's been great, a great opportunity every month for us to sit with people that live in our housing and talk about what's important to them and what's going on. This video came up as a result of one of those conversations in which the residents were talking about the stigma of public housing and the stigma that goes along with just the name of some of our places, Ledgewood Heights, you know. And out of that came this thought that we could actually put together a video. And Christine and Lorelei, working with a lot of residents, and Mary Elder, actually did it. They spent a lot of time, all of them, and have put together a video. I will say no more about it, except let Christine get on with it.
Last May, the Resident Advisory Board talked about how frustrating it is that people living outside of their neighborhoods did not see their communities as valuable. This video was created to showcase their feelings. Welcome to our neighborhood. You think you know it, but you don't.
Waited quite a while to get into housing, and we finally got into Samuel Elliott, and I'm raising my now 11-year-old granddaughter. But before we got this stable housing that was affordable for us, we were basically in a boarding house. Now I know that that's not the worst thing. There are people that are living in shelters and on the street and whatever. But without this affordable option, I really don't know what kind of housing we would be in.
Low-income housing helps me manage my finances, have what I need, have food, run my car.
Well, it allows me to know exactly where I stand financially each and every month.
Living in stable, affordable housing allows me to live on my own independently in an apartment. I have 4.5 years sobriety, and I'm still getting on my feet.
Well, one of the things that it's allowed me to do is that because I have physical limitations, is that I have the freedom now to walk to the hospital, to walk to the stores, and even though it's a little different than, a big difference from West Brattleboro, once I got acclimated to being here, it's just so much easier for me to get around and to do things on my own and remain independent.
It's hard with me working a lot, so especially being a single parent and all.
I'm 67, so I want to give back. So I feel sorry for families when they go to soup kitchens and stuff like that. And that's the people I help. I take upstairs and give them bags, and we give out food the 3rd week of the month, and stuff like that. So we do help them out. We try to. The soup kitchen itself, we feed them 4 days a week, so that's nice.
Working together and seeing the same kids every day, there were families that we found that were in more need of others.
How we can get the community together and get like a small little block party together, or like a community.
Well, we have a couple programs here in the community. For one, in the summertime, we run a breakfast and lunch and snack program. It's great. It's for everybody in the community and outside of the community.
We have opportunities for creativity, such as art, and also I'd say child bonding, community. A lot of kids play on the playground every day. We play kickball, baseball, softball, whatever you can think of, we play it.
Fun things going around, like field trips and block parties, and just getting used to new neighbors. Art class. Art is his favorite. He gets to doodle, he makes stuff, and then he's happy to bring it all home.
And the lunch program is also helpful to people that, their moms are working, their dad are working, both their parents are working, or their legal guardian is away, so they get something to eat, and they get to eat with other kids too.
They have bingo games here in the afternoon. We have bone builders for those of us that need to keep our bones strong.
I'm extremely fond of Lois's exercise classes on Tuesday and Thursday. It's very nice to be able to just go upstairs and have twice a week exercises there. She's very good at it.
Taking a little course on chronic illnesses, and that's right here at the community center. And I like to go on the little trips that they plan, for day trips. Some of them are very interesting.
A wonderful Friday morning coffee hour, which sometimes has programs, but just as often as not, we sit and talk over coffee and goodies to eat and things.
Don't really like to socialize, but ever since I've come to Moore, I've been here for 4 years, and I just love, absolutely adore the people here. They're kind, they're very helpful. I've grown so much being here.
the playground is definitely a big bonus.
Everybody here was nice to me when I moved here. And growing up with not only just my sisters but other kids who are also younger than me, I had to learn how to be nicer and more considerate. So
here is that we seem to all get along very well. We have good fellowship one with another. We're there to help our neighbors.
Many of the things that we just do are not big important things, they're just the things that make life easier and more pleasant.
The safety of the secured entrances. The residents here are very kind-hearted and friendly, and there's a great sense of camaraderie among us, which makes living here more enjoyable.
I love the setting. I came from living in the woods, so this is very rural, lots of trees and birds and brooks and such. So I had a change in household 2 years ago when my grandson came to live with me, and there was a big change there, and housing was more than happy to take care of it's called reasonable accommodation, and they helped me move to a 2-bedroom in the same complex gratefully. And so that's made a big difference.
I don't have access to a car and I don't drive, so a little big thing is that the bus system for the town comes right directly in here and picks me up and transports me to anywhere I need to go.
I would say living close to people my age and also my family. It's very convenient that I live right down the street from my school. So
it just has a real secure attitude and atmosphere of being a very safe and secure place for all of us, and it's just really a very blessed place for us all to be.
The people who lived up in West Brattleboro couldn't believe it when they got over here and found out that it was being right across from a big shopping center meant that they could go shopping anytime they wanted to. And we have pizza places and restaurants and all kinds of commercial things here that they frowned on in advance, but once they got here and started using them, they're very glad that they can get to them pretty well.
I love living downtown because we're accessible to a lot of local stores, boutiques, the cinema, and a lot of local government agencies and other nonprofit organizations that are helpful in my life.
Although in my neighborhood it's clean, it's nice, and I mean there's a lot of funny, energetic adults up here, people to get along with.
Well, it's peaceful. We're not a threat to anything in the surrounding areas, and most of us get along fine and live closely together in a tight-knit little community.
I've actually told a lot of few people of how I grew up here, and it's a good place to live. It's a good neighborhood, located near schools and stores.
It's a pretty secure place to live. I've never felt unsafe living here. And for me, that is almost the #1 thing. You want to feel safe where you live. The people are nice. The staff is overwhelmingly nice.
I would tell them put their name on a waiting list because they can't get it in a hurry, because people usually stay here until they have to go to a nursing home or a hospital or something.
I tell people all the time, it might take a year or two, but I waited 18 months to get in here, so I've been here 4 years, so I like it.
People that have asked me about it, put your name in, put an application in, never mind if they tell you it's going to be a while, just do it anyway so that you can have access to being here. And of course the very best part of it is that it's affordable, and we need affordable housing, and this is the blessed of it all. We don't have to worry about our rents going up and down all the time, or not being able to pay the heating bill or the lights. It's all just so inclusive, and it's all income based, which makes it just a wonderful thing, especially as we grow older.
Nothing to add.
So would everybody that is in that or helped with it, or is the mother of a child that was in there, raise their hands and so we can see all of you? And again, thank you, Christine and Lorelei and Mary, who really put a lot of time and effort into this. This is a first. I don't think the Housing Trust has done it yet. We're hoping to be able to have this shown at other events, including on BCTV. As a way to really let people know how good places are that you all live and that you all make, really make the neighborhood. So, now that I've done that, I get to make some remarks, which I will do very quickly. In 2018, we had a lot of accomplishments. We are a small staff of 20, and we do an amazing amount of work. I could rattle off a long, boring list of all the stuff we've done, but I'll just hit on some high points. In 1 year, and this doesn't mean much to you, but it means a lot to us, this staff took our housing authority from a satisfactory performer to a high performer under the HUD rating, which is really important. And it also means we get more capital money to improve our properties. The staff working together turned around rent. We had 40% about rent collection in a few areas, and the staff took that on as a project, and working together, they now have those places reporting at least 80%. And they did that in about 6 to 7 months. We had residents that were, I would say, causing disruptions and were not really contributing as the neighbors wished they would, and I have to say that we gently moved them along, and in doing so, I hope that we were working with our residents to build stronger neighborhoods. When I look at all of the other things that I won't go into, what I see is that this is a year where we were building deeper relations with residents, a la the film, our community members, and with others. We were improving our program outcomes. We were committing more fully to our mission and to our new programs, or new programs we hope are coming, that will assist all of you in the future. And the staff put together this event, so that just shows you how much they can do. I think the video really exemplifies this year, and that is working closely with residents, especially through the new Resident Advisory Board, listening more deeply to our residents and our community partners, and finally building even stronger relations within the staff and with all the people and organizations that we interact with. So I think it's been a really wonderful year. I'm honored and proud to lead this staff and this agency, and if all the staff would like to stand up that are not standing up, we can give them a round of applause. So now on to the second big event of the day. This is really an eventful day. Gosh, Tom, how many years ago was it? Eek, I can't remember.
Started?
Yeah.
11.
11? Oh, thank you, David.
This award's been around for.
All right.
Chris and I have been around for.
Yeah. So, 12 years ago, Connie Snow, the then executive director of the Wyndham Windsor Housing Trust, approached me and said, wouldn't it be great if the Housing Trust and the Housing Authority shared in an award to recognize Tom Yon, who has just exemplified commitment to housing and to the people that live in affordable housing in our community. And we did it. So we started, and since then, every year, Wyndham Windsor or the Housing Partnerships gives out the Tom Yon Housing Leadership Award. And it is our turn this year. I am thrilled that Tom is here. And I want to turn this over to Janet and David and Tom to hand out this year's awards.
David?
And if you don't know David DeAngelis, I'm shocked. David has been with us for, I don't know, 14 years. And he is our Section 8 administrator. He does a fabulous job with that. And he is also our grants manager. We have 3 separate homeless grants. And David has just done an exceptional job of running those and is now working really diligently at our next initiative, which is housing retention. And the whole idea there is, we talk about homelessness. What if we got to people before they got homeless? And that's an initiative that David has taken on. So, who gets this?
David was kind enough to say that if I'm willing to be the frosting, he will definitely be the cake on this board.
I didn't say that. I'm going to speak without the microphone. I think I have a little amplitude here, but thank you. So this award will be given annually to recognize a citizen of Wyndham County who has demonstrated a long-term commitment to the preservation and development of affordable housing and/or to the lives of those in affordable housing. The recipient of the Thomas C. Yon Housing Leadership Award will demonstrate through their actions that, and I quote, everything we do for citizens of our community must start with safe, decent, affordable housing. I said that on November 14, 2007. So I want to take a moment and share with you some information regarding community landlords and the housing programs that I'm responsible in administering. The Brattleboro Housing Partnerships provides approximately 200 rental subsidies to members of our community. Of these near 200 subsidies, approximately 150 are the Housing Choice Voucher, or what you know as Section 8. The remaining 50 subsidies are specific to serving the homeless. Brattleboro Housing Partnerships has administered the federally funded Shelter Plus Care program for over 20 years, and that program provides rental assistance to those who are homeless and disabled and are connected to a community service provider for ongoing support and case management. We also administer a state of Vermont funded program known as Transitions to Housing, and that is a time-limited subsidy, 24 months, that provides specific assistance to homeless families in our community who are also required to receive supportive services from a local service provider. We've operated the Transitions to Housing program for 14 years now and are extremely grateful to the State of Vermont Department of Agency of Human Services for their continued funding to this program. But in order for our community rental subsidy programs to be successful, we must have landlords that are willing to accept and house our qualified program participants. Brattleboro's housing stock of available rental units is remarkably low, having a vacancy rate of less than 1%. In essence, which that means for every 100 apartments in the community, 1 is vacant. It's pretty challenging if you're on a limited fixed income. And then add to that, if you're a qualified housing participant that gets a subsidy from us, but you don't have any references. Maybe you don't have any income. Maybe you have significant mental health challenges. Perhaps a substance abuse history, or coping with domestic violence events. Who would take the risk of taking a chance on running with someone with those types of challenges. Surprisingly enough, there are many in this community. Brattleboro Housing Partnerships is currently under contract with over 85 community landlords who have all stepped up to provide a home to those who need today. Today we want to recognize 3 champions who have provided homes to well over 40 of our program participants without them taking a risk of being a part of the answer to the question, how do we address homelessness in our community? Brattleboro's homeless needs will be far challenging than what we know it is today. I'd like to recognize Linda Parker, Jim Simpson, and Dart Everett for their ongoing commitment to providing homes to some of our community's most vulnerable and disadvantaged. They've provided safe, secure, and yes, even affordable homes to those that receive the BHP support. We're extremely grateful to them for their genuine commitment in making our community a little bit better and a little bit stronger every day. So Linda, Dart, and Jim, thank you greatly for your taking a chance in improving the quality of life for many of our neighbors.
Well, first, thank you for inviting me here. Thanks to Chris, the staff, and definitely the residents. It's great to see so many shining faces out there. I'd just like to say one thing about the film before I congratulate. You can't hear me? I can't hear me. Figured if David could do it, I could do it. What I wanted to say is that we just saw this wonderful film about what used to be called the Housing Authority, and now it's called the Housing Partnership. And we never saw a house in it, but we saw faces of human beings that were satisfied in so many different kinds of ways. And the one word that I heard almost everybody say was community. So it's great that we have a place like this, and I congratulate all of you on making this the place that it is. But I think we ought to maybe add the name to future endeavors like this. Have the word community in there someplace, because I think out of housing we really nurture community, and the Brattleboro community is a place that not only is great for the people that live here, but the work that you guys have done is noticed statewide and even nationally. I serve on the Vermont Housing Conservation Board, which is a national board, and you guys are brought up as examples all the time. So I'd just like to thank you all in the room for making this happen. It is really a team effort. And the award that they put in my name is really only a name only. It's really an award that celebrates everything that you guys have done for the community. And I'm especially happy that finally we're recognizing the private landlords for the contribution that they make. And it's not only just housing, but at a recent board meeting that I was at, we started discussing about one of the big answers to homelessness is keeping people in their homes so they don't become homeless. And I think a lot of that is the result of the kind of conscientious work that you do with your tenants, and you do to let us know here at the partnership and at Groundworks that people are starting to look a little shaky way before they become homeless. So that's one message I'd like to pass along. Keep up that great work, and we all appreciate it very much. And it's great to be here in this wonderful building. Thank you.
Do you want to help?
I'll give one to this guy here. So Dart? Oh, I can start to it. Thank you. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I just want to say that it is delightful working with Chris and David. If it weren't for the support that we get from them, I'm not sure we would be as happy to work with the programs that they have. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
I'd like to back that up too. It's a pleasure working with the Housing Authority and David in particular. He's always available. And if he's not right there, he calls you right back. Pleasure.
Right. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
If I could add, and I don't think I need a microphone to do it, I started becoming involved with what was happening in housing as a clinical social worker, working with some people who had been homeless and who were covered under the Shelter Plus care, which is how I got to know David and how I got to see what housing can mean in terms of stability and hope for people who didn't have any before. So your program is remarkable. Yes, it is.
Thank you all. And according to our agenda, there will now be a break, and there are great refreshments. The staff has outdone themselves, so I hope you all will stay and socialize for a bit and congratulate our great landlords. Thank you.